All right, guys, cardio done. 40 minutes. Oh, come on, lady. Yeah, because clearly you're not looking. Somebody almost just ran into me pulling out the parking lot. Crazy. But cardio done. 40 minutes on the treadmill inside the little movie room in the LA Fitness. And we hit the sauna, and then did a little bit of posing, and then now here we are, trying something a little bit different, but it's been thinking about it for a little minute now, so I figured why not give it a shot, right? I gotta remember to look into the camera and not at myself. So yeah, this is just gonna be prep thoughts, pretty much is what I be thinking through the days, through the mornings as prep goes on. So it's gonna be pretty much raw, uncut, unedited, right? I've got no microphone, I've got no camera, like this is literally just me on my iPhone, right? So one thing that I wanted to touch on today was just finding your inner peace, right? And what does that even mean, right? And how does one go about doing that, right? So when I wake up in the mornings, thank God, but when I wake up in the mornings, I don't want to be bothered or disturbed at all. Like, I don't want to deal with anybody until I get my day started, get into my routine, and then then we can chop it up, go about it, whatever. And I've been like that now for the past, I'd say, I don't even know, maybe like 3 or 4 years. Honestly, I've never liked waking up in the morning, but coincidentally, morning time is my favorite time of day, right? But that kind of goes back into finding your inner peace, right? Because you have to know what works for you. And the only way to know what works for you is to really know yourself, right? If you want to tie it back into bodybuilding, which is obviously what I do, so I will. But if you want to tie it back into bodybuilding, it's just this constant search to get closer and more connected with yourself in the sense of mind, body, and spirit, right? I believe that's the case in most things in life, right? Is how can I get more in tune with what I'm doing? And that's why I love bodybuilding, because you quite literally have to get in tune with yourself. So you see there's layers to this thing, right? So now you ask the question, well, yeah, that's great and all, but how do I get in tune with myself? Well, first of all, it starts with being alone, right? That's number one. You got to find ways to spend time alone. You can't constantly be surrounded with other people and just negative energy and other energies, because that ultimately will take away from what it is that you're trying to do, right? I don't care if it's, your best friends, family, even social media, man. Social media is a big one, because you scroll and on TikTok and Instagram and whatever, and you see all these things that people have and the lifestyles that they're living or they claim to be living, because a lot of that stuff is just fake, man. It's fake as shit, to be real with you. But you see all that stuff, and then you start comparing your own life and your situation and kind of start pitying yourself, feeling sorry, instead of actually going out and putting the actions together to make your life how you want it to be, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody can create their own life, can create their own reality with the things that they want to do. So whatever that looks like to you, you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing at the end of the day, right? So you just got to go out there and fucking do it, right? So you can't have any excuses, anything that's coming up in your way, and that starts with number one, being alone, right? And I'm not saying that you can't I'm not saying that you can't have friends or you got to be a loner, whatever the case. No, absolutely not. We're social creatures, but you got to understand when it's time to lock in on yourself and when it's time to give energy to other people, right? The Lord will speak to you when you're by yourself, right? He doesn't, he's not going to come to you in a crowd full of people where you're hearing other people's murmurs and chirps and quite frankly, just other distractions. He'll come to you when you're alone and at times when you need it most, but you have to be willing to listen. That's number one, right? So how do you find your inner peace? Well, step one is just being alone, right? Step two, you just got to find what it is that you even like to do, right? So for me, it's bodybuilding, it's lifting weights, it's working out. I have other hobbies and stuff here and there, but pretty much all I do is go to the gym, go to work right now, and get my meals in, just being on this prep, right? But you got to find out what it is that you like to do, what you're passionate about, and that's something that a lot of people struggle with, man. And people will go years and years, sometimes their whole life, without finding out what it is that they're truly love to do and they were put on this earth to do, right? But it kind of goes back into the first point. You got to be alone so that the Lord can even talk to you and tell you what that thing is, right? A lot of times you get what you ask for, but people don't know who to ask or what to ask or when to ask. But you got to find out what it is that you even like to do, number one, right? So that just starts by trying different things, right? Go out, try some different hobbies, get involved with some clubs, right? Working out is a big one for a lot of people. It doesn't have to be to the absolute, man, what's going on up there? Anyway, it doesn't have to be to the absolute extreme, as when I'm taking it and trying to compete or whatever. It doesn't even have to be going to the gym, right? You can go for a run, you can jump rope, you can dance. A lot of people like Zumba, like you can swim. Like there's so many things and so many benefits and perks to just being active, right? So just try some different hobbies, try some things that you think you might like, and if you don't, then at least you know, right? But you're never going to find anything, you're never going to be successful at anything, number one, if you're not willing to try, right? And number two, if you're not willing to fail, right? Because if you fail 10 times, you're going to get up 11. And honestly, you just found 10 different ways that don't work, right? So you keep trying, you will eventually become successful in whatever it is that you want to do. I've been saying, for a lot of these sayings I say to myself, and this is, which is kind of crazy, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to even hop on here and do this. But I've been saying for the longest time, if you can't stop, or if you don't stop, then you can't lose. And it's pretty black and white as it is, right? Say you're trying to scale a business, you're building something from scratch, whether that be on social media, you want to post content, you want to sell t-shirts or whatever, you want to make clothes, whatever it is. You want to build a body, get into bodybuilding, right? You're going to be starting from zero, okay? And understand that it's going to be hard, right? So, but you can't quit, because the second you quit, that's the moment that it's over, right? But if you keep going, you keep chasing that thing that you want to do, you got to find out what it is that you want to do, but you keep chasing that thing that you want to do, then there's no possible way that you can fail, right? And I don't want to hear, what about this situation and what about that situation? Everything is black and white, bro. It either comes down to either you're doing the things that you're supposed to do to get to where you want to be, or you're not. And if you're not doing them, then honestly, you're just making up excuses as to why you're not doing them. And then you cope with those excuses. You say, because of X, Y, and Z reason, I can't do the things that I'm laughing because it sounds so crazy in my head. You're saying because of X, Y, and Z reasons, I can't do the things that I want to do and that I enjoy doing. Right? And I understand that life comes in the way. Sometimes people have like kids and jobs and work and things like that. But like I said, it's still black and white. Either you're doing the things that you want to do or you're not. So how do you find your inner peace? Number one, it starts with being alone. Number two, you got to find out what it is that you even like to do, and then go do it, go chase it. And then number three, just don't give up, right? If the moment that you give up, it's all over with, right? And then what do you have? Nothing, right? So what's the benefit in that? Just keep going, man. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here, hop on and just get my thoughts out, Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I might do more of these, I might not. Who knows? This was just like a thought that I had yesterday, and I wanted to see. As far as bodybuilding updates, we're coming up on 4 weeks out from the show, and I'm gonna be ready, man. I know for a fact I'm gonna be ready, and I'm gonna be very, very hard to beat. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna win, although I am very confident. I will say that I will be very hard to beat, right? And cardio is going smooth. Haven't had to up it, you know, in the last couple weeks. So we've been steady at 40 minutes, which is a good thing. Diet, we really haven't had to change much in like the last 8 weeks, you know, other than implementing some low days and high days. Today's a high day, so I'm about to go eat good, you know what I mean? I'm not really complaining. And then, yeah, the only thing that I'm really like been craving is some crumble cookie, and that's just because I got it sitting in my fridge right now. It wasn't mine, of course, but I just got it sitting in my fridge, and it be staring at me, man. Cookies be looking so good, so scrumptious. You know, I love me some good sweets, muffins, cookies, cakes, anything, and that stuff is just all terrible for you, right? So all in all, you know, prep is going good. I hope that you can take something away from this video, and it really helps you find, you know, what you're looking for, right? And it helps you find that inner peace. So that's all for me right now. Like I said, I might do another one of these, I might not, but if you like them and you want more, then let me know. Leave a comment and tell me what you think.